excuse me.
Them are friars.
Nobody in Hollywood answers a question quite like Harrison Ford. No filter, no rehearsed lines, and absolutely no patience for nonsense. These are the moments his brutal honesty left even the biggest stars in the room with nothing to say.
What was the color of the original Whip's fall?
Who gives a
What's the most romantic thing you would do for your partner? Again, me. Provide emotional support, make dinner, write him a letter, buy him a gift.
Sweet ball is not on there?
Today, he's one of the most successful leading men in movie history. But did you know that early in his career, a studio boss looked Harrison Ford in the eye and told him he'd never make it? For the most ridiculous reason you've ever heard?
I'm going to tell you a story. The first time Tony Curtis ever walked on a stage, he delivered a bag of groceries. You took one look at that guy and you said, "That's a movie star." And I leaned across the desk and said, "I thought you were supposed to think it was a grocery delivery boy." And he said, "Get the f*** out of here." And I did.
They wanted a movie star. He insisted on being believable. Hollywood spent the next 50 years proving him right. From directors to co-stars, everyone who has ever shared a set with Harrison Ford seems to agree on one thing. And one famous story proves it better than any other.
We just immediately hit it off. It was perfect. And Harrison had a really firm grasp of, like, the overview. I think he'd make a really good director if he weren't so lazy.
While he's working, that it's really it's the perfect balance, and you just wish it could kind of be like that all the time.
I love you so much. Of course, the reason why I love acting so much is because of him.
One sick day, one honest suggestion, one scene audiences have been laughing at for over 40 years.
I learned how to compromise creatively, more than any other picture I made since my television days. The sequence where Harrison is battling the black swordsman and pulls out the gun and shoots the swordsman was a compromise that I made on the day that Harrison wasn't feeling too well.
While other stars were discovered overnight, Harrison Ford spent nearly 10 years being told no. So he picked up a hammer instead and refused to let Hollywood decide what his family would eat.
I learned that craft was something that took long, hard work, that I learned from carpentry.
The man they hired to help other actors win the part walked out with the role of a lifetime. And he never forgot what it took to get there.
And a few days later, I was asked by George if I would read with the other actors. No indication that I might be considered for a part in the film.
By the way, if you saw Star Wars or Raiders in a real theater when they first came out, tell me in the comments where you watched it. I read every single one. But if you really want to understand Harrison Ford, don't listen to what he says about the movies. Listen to what he says about work and about growing older.
Do you think you'll ever stop? Do you think you'll ever slow down? Do you think you'd ever retire?
I haven't thought a lot about it.
Do you already think about legacy?
I think about work. I don't think about legacy.
Well.
And I'm happy to be working, and I think about that.
For most actors, danger is a special effect. Harrison Ford has the scars to prove his was never pretend.
I was aboard the plane and it crashed.
What happened?
The plane had a
mechanical malfunction.
And then what happened? What were the injuries?
A dislocated right ankle, a shattered pelvis, broken back.
And here's the part most people never heard. Harrison Ford doesn't just survive emergencies. He flies into them for strangers. Ford using his own helicopter in real backcountry rescues. A stranded, dehydrated hiker and a lost 13-year-old Boy Scout flown to safety. Imagine being 13 years old, lost in the wilderness. And the helicopter that finds you is flown by Indiana Jones. And even Hollywood's biggest names turn into fans around him. Although sometimes, meeting your hero leaves a mark. Just ask Ryan Gosling.
Well, he punched you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Well, he punched you. Yeah, of course I punched him.
But you weren't meant to punch him.
Right?
Oh, I misread the script.
50 years in Hollywood, and he can still land a punchline. And apparently, a punch. In March 2026, Hollywood gave Harrison Ford its highest honor for a lifetime of work. And the man famous for having no filter finally ran out of words.
None of this happened on my own. Thank you, George Lucas. Thank you, Steven Spielberg. There were two other people. I want to say thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. This is very encouraging.
84 years old, still showing up, still learning lines, still telling the truth. Because for Harrison Ford, the secret was never staying famous. It was staying useful. Useful to the story. Useful to the people around him. Useful to the ones he loves. And maybe that's the most honest thing he's ever said. Because the day we stop being useful is the day we start getting old. 84 years old, still flying, still working, and still saying exactly what he thinks, whether Hollywood likes it or not. So tell me in the comments, which Harrison Ford moment surprised you the most? And if you love legends who never learn to bite their tongue, there's a man with no name waiting for you right here.
But the truth is, I created a monster.
So you're going to tell me everything? You're going to tell me about Nevada, about Project Obsidian, about what you really created in that facility.
Said you're going to be around when I made a mistake.
We're going to get pulverized if we stay out here much longer.